Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, in daily activities, we often come across something interesting. An easy example is when we were scrolling through social media, we can see a lot there. Upon seeing it, I have no doubt that most of us want to express what we feel about it, be it good or bad. Well, of course, we all have the freedom of speech. However, it doesn't mean that we can just say whatever comes to our mind without filtering it. Even worse, if we just blatantly say bad opinions about what we see. Sometimes, unfiltered words, especially the bad ones, can become dangerous, and it will come into hate speech and hurt the receiver. So today, I will tell you the reasons on why we should not spread hate speech. There are three main reasons. First, the effect of verbal abuse in hate speech often lasts forever to almost everyone. Second, verbal abuse can damage someone mentally. And third, verbal abuse can lead to a lot of physical pain. So the first reason on why we should not spread hate speech is because the effect of verbal abuse often lasts forever to almost everyone. Verbal abuse is very different from physical abuse. There is no visible scar. However, the receiver will still feel hurt emotionally. This scar won't go easily, or even worse, it will never go away. Imagine living your whole life with a painful scar. Awful, isn't it? So, I've heard and read a lot of stories from people who experience verbal abuse. These people, who are all adults, still feel hurt by the words they received a few years ago. They still remember every single thing that's said to them, and they still remember the pain from the time when they received it. So, rather than giving people an invisible lifetime scar, we should just prevent ourselves from saying bad words. Next, the reason on why we should not spread hate speech is because the effect of verbal abuse can damage someone mentally. Sometimes, words can change our mood for the day. Well, verbal abuse can take it to another level. It will affect the receiver's emotion to the worst. Based on this research from Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, verbal abuse can degrade a person's self-esteem and will make them bad at social interaction. Because the people who receive verbal abuse will often overthink about the words they heard. This will make them wonder, what's wrong with me, or what did I do wrong, and it will lead to mental health problem. So, rather than making someone suffer a mental health problem, we should just prevent ourselves from saying bad words. We should compliment them and say a few encouraging words. Plus, the reason on why we should not spread hate speech is because verbal abuse can lead to a real physical pain. As we know that after receiving bad words, people will overthink about the words they heard. Later on, it's possible for them to develop an aching stomach or a headache. Based on the study conducted by Naomi L. Eisenberger and others, neuroimaging showed that the same circuitry associated with the affective component of physical pain was activated when participants felt the emotional pain of social exclusion. We can also say that the stress caused by verbal abuse can lead to a real physical pain. Well, so this happened because our mind also affects how our body works. So, rather than making people suffer a real physical pain problem on their body, we should just help them to get through it all. In conclusion, we should prevent ourselves from saying bad words, from saying hate speech that may lead to verbal abuse, because it has three bad impacts in general. The scar caused by verbal abuse often lasts forever to almost everyone, and it will keep haunting them for life. The feeling of being haunted by these words can lead to a mental health problem, and even worse, a real physical pain. We should rethink our words, ask ourselves, is it important to say, or is it necessary to say this? And many other questions. This way, we can prevent ourselves from leaving scar to other people's feeling. So, That is all I can say about why we should not spread hate speech. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.